Today we'll be answering the question how to do digital marketing. So let's take a look at some of the steps which are typically involved in most of the digital marketing projects or campaigns that we run. First would be defining your goals or marketing objectives. So unless you decide your goal or what your objective is, you will not be able to make progress with your digital marketing efforts. So it's extremely important to define an important goal, such as it can be maybe generate so many leads for your business or generate so much revenue from your marketing, or it can also be increase brand awareness. Whatever it may be, it's very important to define the goals and marketing objectives so that you're clear on where you're headed with your marketing. Next would be to identify your target audience. So, or it is also known as ideal customer profile. So, it is very important to understand whom you are running the campaign for, or which segment would you want to become prospects for your business, for example. So, once you have an idea of who the target audience is, you can do further research using different tools into where they hang out on the internet, what kind of content they consume, and then you can accordingly target them based on their pains and their challenges. So extremely important to identify the target audience. Next would be to identify the digital channels that you would be using. So depending on the target audience and the kind of business you're trying to market, or the products and services, or the content, you can immediately figure out which digital channel you would want to use. For example, if I have to take an example of, let's say, a t-shirt brand which is catering to young people, maybe, and a t-shirt is more of a visual thing. So you might want to maybe use something like Instagram or Facebook, for example, to show off your t-shirts over there, because it's more of a visual medium, and that's where your target audience would also hang out, and they might click and become customers for your business. Now compare this to a SaaS company, which is a software company. They would probably want to target specific job titles on a platform like LinkedIn, because it would be more of a B2B marketing. So depending on who your target audience is and what your product services are, what kind of business, what your objectives are, you should be able to identify the digital channels that you would be using for your digital marketing. Next would be to maintain a balance between organic and paid channels. So ideally, how marketing works is like you would want to use a paid channel for your marketing, because it can give you immediate results for your business, and it also allows you to do quick experimentation on what works and what does not with your target audience. But parallelly, you would also definitely want to use organic channels for digital marketing, because they are relatively low cost and they help in building organic relationships with your brand, which prove to be very valuable later down the line. So like some organic channels which come to mind are SEO or social media marketing. Next would be to figure out a budget for each of the channels. So let's say you have decided to use X number of 3 to 5 channels for your marketing. So next would be to figure out what kind of budget you would want to allocate to each of these channels. Even if it is a channel like SEO, there would be some budget required for it, because you might need to create content and let's say hire a content writer on freelance. So that would also require money. So at an uh, uh, it will make sense to basically figure out budget for each of your channels, and then proceed with your marketing accordingly. Next would be to create engaging content. So whether you're running a paid campaign or whether you're running an organic campaign, you would definitely need to create content. Even for your ads, there's a creative involved, there's copy involved. If there's a, let's say, an asset involved which you're running in your ad, all that is content which needs to be created. Or even for SEO, the or social media marketing, content is something which is extremely important. So you would definitely have to create engaging content, whether be it paid or organic ads. Then other thing would be to keep different devices in mind, such as mobile, and optimize for different devices. Because let's say you're running a video ad, so many people today, they use mobile phones to access internet and access all these digital channels. So you might want to optimize your video in a way that subtitles are visible. Even if somebody is watching it on mute, they can make sense out of it, because that's the typical use case for somebody viewing a video, let's say on a mobile phone. So you have to take into consideration the different devices which might be used to reach your campaign, and then optimize for it accordingly. Next would be some kind of a keyword or content research. This is not in order, but typically, if you're doing SEO or you're doing search ads, you have to do some keyword research to find out, what are the things people are searching about, what are they interested in. Or if you're posting something on social media, there are tools in which you can do content research and find out, what is kind of trending related to the topic which I am wanting to post about. So you have to do some kind of a research. You can also do competitor research to find out what the competition is doing, and this research will feed in into the digital marketing efforts that you do going forward. Next would be to measure campaign performance against the KPIs. KPIs are nothing but key performance indicators. So what you would want to do is, like, let's say if uh, you're running a campaign on LinkedIn and you want to generate leads, you would want to measure how much you're spending, what is the cost per lead, how many leads are you generating, how much revenue are those leads ultimately driving. A lot of things you can measure, and you should judge your campaigns based on these different KPIs. And then what you can do is basically take all this data that you have got for your campaigns, and then focus on things which are working for the or target audience that you're reaching out to. And over a period of time, you will see that your efforts will result into greater performance.